Good day, everyone. For newcomers to Red Stripe 118, my name is Justin, and today, to commemorate what as of about a week ago was last year, I'll be taking on the most traditional of topics, the standout anime openings of 2014. In my own personal estimation, of course. Before jumping in, though, some needed house cleaning. First, I judge openings as a total package, how the visuals and the song work together, and how they may reflect upon their given series, meaning that it's not enough to really like the song. One of the most classic examples of this, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, where Inner Universe is an incredible song, but it soundtracks shitty CGI visuals. And second, most of my choices come from anime that I have personally watched, whether that's a mere episode or the entire series, meaning that outside of one major exception, if I've not even seen a particular anime, it's not going to show up. So if I forgot a favorite of yours, there's a chance it could just be because it wasn't something I watched. And with that out of the way, I hereby present Red Stripe's Top 10 Standout Anime Openings of 2014. In ascending order, so number 10. A second opening that matches the shift in tone for a series is hardly anything new, but dedicating to something this extreme and weird isn't the sort of thing you see every day or even every year. Golden Time had guts for even daring to record Yui Horii singing over blast beats for a minute and a half and calling it an opening theme. Just imagine all of the timid fans complaining that it's borderline unlistenable, but it works in this case. It gets across the moodiness, even with the color palettes being as bright as ever. Maybe especially because it's as bright as ever.
Number 9, number 9, number 9, number 9.
Let me be clear, I do not like Glass Slip, but it sure had an opening theme that always prepared me for the possibility. A pleasant bedroom pop song riding underneath nice little slice of life moments between the characters taking place in these gorgeous countryside environments. It almost seems like you're about to be in for an actually good experience. Or alternately, from my girlfriend who does not like this opening, it's perfectly fitting as a plain spaghetti opening for a plain spaghetti series. So either way, really, it works out. Number 8. I'm not the biggest fan of running through plain obvious coming-of-age signifiers, like group sleep in a peaceful meadow, bare feet in the water, bare feet everywhere in general, tears of unrequited love, naked dancing bodies that are unintentionally amusing when the maid dude joins in, stuff like that. But when the opening also has a funny moment of the main girl not letting a pratfall kill her joyful vibe, I can kinda dig it. And then when there is some intense, passionate instrument playing, you're starting to really speak my language. And when it's all held together with a catchy and driving as hell song by Goose House, I am ultimately sold. Number 7. So many people may be amazed to hear, but I did not really like Nozaki-kun's theme song at first. Rest easy though, it's grown on me pretty fast. The verse is fun and catchy as hell, and the whole opening sequence is one of several examples illustrating where the creators were paying attention, willing to go beyond assembly line motifs and song styles to get to the essence of what the source material is all about. This very song, coupled with all of the manga paneling, the ink strokes forming sound waves, the erasers forming sound bars, it's all playful and uniquely fitting of Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun. Props. Number 6. It's a rare breed, that's of the purely instrumental anime opening theme. Tank, Die to Tank, Trigun, anything Read or Die related, Area 88, Najiga Blitz Tactics. Yeah, I've got to go kind of obscure for examples. So it was striking that Brynhildr in the Darkness' first opening went down that route. It was no half-assed effort either. You don't choose orchestral, operatic, tempo-shifting dubstep as your song style if you're trying to be lazy. And even if said song is more often a mess than it is actually good, though with some excellent standalone elements, it's nonetheless a pitch-perfect fit for the nocturnal color palette and plethora of action and witch diagram shots that serve as the visuals. And thus the end result is something appropriately emblematic of Brynhildr at both its grim best and its flaws. Number 5. The thing about Sword Art Online opening themes is that they all more or less try to work on the same level. Fast-driving, violent, heavy, female-fronted pop rock with shonen fighter visuals. SAO might as well be a genre unto itself at this point, really. See one and you've mostly seen them all. But there is one aspect where an individual SAO opening can leave its distinctive mark: the introduction. And the first opening for Sword Art Online 2 has one hell of an intro. A powerful, ultra-catchy vocal melody building up to when all the instruments kick in, shots of Kirito and Sinon, and Death Gun more or less pulling a 007 gun barrel. Bonus points for some amusing shots reminiscent of Azumanga Daio's opening. Number 4. If you can deny the dot dot ua ua singing with Kobeni and company lip syncing and dancing to it, then you've got to be made of downright inhuman stuff, because that is some universal human experience type shit right there. Sure, Engaged to the Unidentified's opening is open to accusations of being the very sorts of generic that I railed against back in Nozaki-kun, but this is one case where I could selectively care less because the execution of everything is incredible. The song is too damn fun, the animation is appropriately wonky with respect to its source show, itself an example of the power of good execution, and I'm pretty sure they snuck in a stealth boob joke too. The best thing about it, though, is how it's also parts of an even grander gambit, but discussing that requires talking about the ending theme. Maybe another video. Number 3. When a sports anime does not ever change songs during its season run, it could be due to one of 3 things. Because they're cheapskates, because they're lazy, or, my personal hope, because they know they've got something so potent and so wonderful that there's no need to switch it up. You made a good shot, Haikyuu Opening 1, and I was so sad you couldn't even show up here through technicality, Yoapet Opening 1, because you ended way too soon, right before the new year. So the undisputed king of my heart for 2014 is Baby Steps. Undeniable whoa-ohs, undiluted hype through the entire running time of the song, rapid cuts of volleying action, making us wonder whenever the hell aight was going to reach that level of tennis, and finally, this is practically a perfect opening sequence for a sports series. It got me excited for each entry of Baby Steps, which, by the way, is pretty much the best sports series I've seen up to this point. Number 2. This series had lots of promise, though it ultimately failed to impress. But I am not going to front, Makaku City Actors' opening really is something else. The song, Days, is the product of a notable Vocaloid songmaker who also happens to be Mr. Kagero Project himself, and it's a fucking awesome piece of surf punk. The titles are as good of an advertisement of the animation style as possible, and there's a freewheeling energetic anarchy to the tone of the whole thing that would be perfectly befitting of the potentially great show that Makaku City could have been. This is what plays at the end of the excellent first episode, and it's like a mic drop. It must have been that cherry on the top of a deal sealer for numerous viewers. Finally, this seems like yet more confirmation of my belief that Shaft were genuinely trying to do their best with the material. And now, my good friends, number 1. Remember at the very beginning when I said that all of the openings on this list were pulled from anime that I had actually seen, at least in part, but with one major exception? Well, I present to you Tokyo Ghoul. Not seen a single episode. The previews did a good enough job of convincing me it was typical dark shonen pap that I wouldn't be into, but damn, those opening titles! It looks gorgeous! Especially the cityscapes at night and this one slow-mo shot, with companion music that sure is something potent. That looks like the start of a great show, and if it weren't for the previews that I had already seen beforehand, this opening would have convinced me to start watching Tokyo Ghoul. Considering how that is no easy feat, and because it outclasses nearly everything else from the year, this is surely deserving of the title of Standout Anime Opening of 2014. And considering this is from the usually strictly middle-of-the-road Studio Pierrot, you know what? You did really good work. That concludes my list. Thank you for watching. Feel free to chime in via the comments, whether to trash me, praise my choices, or write out or plug in your own best openings list. This has been Justin, now signing off.